Everyone, welcome to my channel. Good morning. So I'm not sure what time is it, but right now it's quite early still, so my voice must sound quite deep. Okay, so with that said, today I was thinking on sharing one thing with you that is crossing my mind. That essentially I'm looking to change countries again. So I already lived in 5 and work across 5 different countries, so namely Portugal, the Netherlands, Belgium, the UK, and Spain. Okay, with that said, and counting most likely. So with that said, I was thinking how much can I actually earn, how much will I gonna pay on taxes, what about the cost of living and all of that. Okay, with that said, meaning I will share with you my experience across those 5 countries, how much can I actually expect to earn, what will be the cost, and this looking from a family perspective. So I'm going to be only speaking about a family of 4, okay, so that you have a better understanding of how much can it be for you, but nevertheless, so I'll be sharing that across those 5 countries. And then also one thing that I did receive across was always questions around Belgium. Okay, what about Belgium? How easy is to live there? Earning, salaries, etc., cost of living, etc., so forth. So the topic for me, or the question for me, is actually, is Belgium the best option? Okay, meaning there are some question marks there, but nevertheless, at the very end, I'm gonna drop you the ranking of the countries that you should be considering, from the best country, from the worst country till the best country to live. From my perspective, of course, and I will explain the reasons why, so that this can actually help you to take and choose wisely, or take the best possible option. Okay, with that said, don't go anywhere, stick around for the next one. Very important, do subscribe, okay? Join me on this journey, give it a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Okay, let's go for the first one. So I'm gonna share my experience then as a family of 4 across those 5 countries. Okay, so starting with the first one, then I'm gonna be like Portugal. Okay, so as a family of 4, we were with more or less a monthly cost of around 2,055, 2,100 a month. Okay, taking into consideration free school, the place that you live, eating and all of that. Okay, so I would say that as a single person should take a look at the cost of around 500, 600 a month, okay, as a bare minimum, and as a family we were earning around 2,700 a month, give or take. Okay, so, and I was living in Setúbal. Okay, just so that you know, meaning in terms of cost, it's a city close to Lisbon, but nevertheless, just for you to have that sense of cost. So, generally speaking, the cost and living standards in Portugal, meaning I would say that you need to go over, meaning the average is around 18,000, 20,000, meaning as a family, and I would say that it's quite, meaning I think you should expect, meaning in terms of earning, it should be, in my perspective, meaning thinking if you're gonna go to Lisbon or something like that, you're gonna be spending roughly minimum 2,000 up to 2,500, 3,000 a month. Okay, so it's expensive. It's not extremely expensive, but it's still expensive. Okay, and I would say that as a family, meaning you should consider to live a good life, you should expect to have actually between 4,000 to 5,000. That will be my honest take on that. Okay, so I was under that. Okay, but not a problem. Okay, so the cost of living in comparison, I'd say, meaning it's like it's still expensive, and house prices are getting really high. mostly because, meaning, people discovered Portugal. It's like lots of Americans, French people, Nordic people coming over, because even more now that you can work and live remotely, and there is all of this thing around the golden visa that actually stopped, but you still have the digital nomad visa, you have entrepreneur visa, so that actually helps a lot. So that's all about Portugal, okay? And if you're gonna compare with other cities, just as a reference, meaning you should be expecting that this will be like 50% cheaper than New York, I'd say 50% cheaper than Paris, maybe, and like 40% cheaper than Brussels, some people say, but actually I don't think so. Okay, those are the, you need to have like 5,000, okay, 4,000, 5,000 as a family to live well. Okay, so moving forward, the Netherlands. When I was living in the Netherlands, like a family, as a family, we're having like a cost of roughly 3,100 and something, okay? That's not counting rent, okay? So rent in itself, you should be expecting between 900 as a bare minimum, up to, normally speaking, 1,500, 1,700, 2,000 a month, okay? So it's expensive, meaning I would say that as a family, you need also to consider that, meaning if you're gonna go for a 3-bedroom apartment, let's say, it's gonna be difficult to find, but as mentioned, between 1,000, 1,500 a month, okay? So when I was living in the Netherlands, I lived in Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and The Hague, okay? So I have a good all-round like understanding of, at least of the Randstad, okay? Randstad, it's the name that you give to the, like this kind of triangle between Amsterdam, Den Haag and Rotterdam, okay? So with Utrecht in the middle, okay? So those would be the prices. So meaning, I would say that for you to consider to live well there, I think as a family, meaning, I think you should be earning bare minimum, I would say 6,000-7,000, around those lines, okay? And I remember that when we were there at the time, meaning we were not a family of 4 at the time, but we were, meaning at an average position. But my advice would be for you to be like earning around 6,000 as a family, okay, 6,000-7,000 as a family, okay. So not a big difference from Portugal, I would say, okay, like 2,000 more if you want to live comfortably, between brackets. So the cost of living, I lived, like, I'm gonna give you Amsterdam as an example. So Amsterdam is the capital of the Netherlands. It's not a political center because that is in The Hague. It's known as the big village. Why? Because it's a city very easy to go through. It seems like a big city, but at the same like a village. You have loads of expats and foreigners there, so it's a really good place to be. The only point it has, the rent prices are very high in comparison to most cities. Living in the center of Amsterdam, I used to live there, it's really expensive, okay? So, and that what's happening is that more and more people are moving towards the outskirts of Amsterdam, okay? Like for instance, Amstelveen, okay? So Amstelveen is where you're gonna find a few big companies as well, one of which I worked there, that it was Canon Europe HQ, sits in Amstelveen. Huge campus, but yeah, so that's about Amsterdam, and about also the Netherlands, okay? Cost of living can be expensive, as I mentioned, but then you need to think that you need to be around about the 6,000 a month, okay, as a family, so that you can live well, okay? Yeah, that's it. Okay, Belgium. Okay, so Belgium, as a family of 4, meaning taxes are very high in Belgium. So we were roughly paying 4,000 a month of taxes, so really high. But you should be expecting. So we were having like a meaning a cost of living in terms of monthly costs of roughly 3,000. Okay, this without rent. Okay, so for different reasons, meaning with rent, sorry, different costs associated to that. So public school still, but meaning you're gonna pay for taxes very high, of course, but then you have housing, you have food that is more or less okay. And as a single person, I would say that you should be expecting to have at the minimum a cost of roughly around 850 to 900. Okay, and I think as a family, you should really expect to earn as a bare minimum, I would say, to live comfortably, that is around 5,000. And luckily we were above that, so we were okay. And my experience, of course, is extensively connected to Ghent, a bit to Brussels as well, but nevertheless, okay. So the cost of living of Ghent, Ghent is the capital of the East Flanders, okay. It's a port city, but a university city as well. So loads of students, and it's a really nice place to be, okay. And you should expect for it to be cheaper than Paris, cheaper than London, much more expensive than Mumbai, for instance, of course. But nevertheless, I would say that you need to be round about like the 5,000-6,000, I would say, roughly around that. That would be my take. Okay, then UK. Okay, UK, bloody expensive, man, bloody expensive. This is like you are bleeding, actually. So in terms of costs, so we were having like a family of four, costs around 3,400 pounds, 3,200 roughly, meaning you should expect to have 2,200 roughly without rent, and then I don't know, like 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 on top of that. It depends on where is it that you live, but that's what you should expect. And as a single person, I think you should be looking at having like roughly around 900 to 850 pounds, okay, of monthly costs. So meaning taking out the rent. So I think around that. Okay. So and as a family, I would say that you need to earn, meaning I think, meaning we were living in Kent, and I think that you need to get around 7,000 a month, around that, meaning it's expensive, so you need to earn a bit. It's the most expensive country where I was. So meaning 7,000, we were in a comfortable zone, I would say, but nevertheless, you need to think on that, on the 7,000 mark, okay? And then the question is, how much money do you need to get by in the UK? So generally it depends on where is it that you live, okay? So a household in the UK is spending, I would say, at the monthly level, roughly around the 2,000, okay, pounds. So, but this will include housing, food, transport, etc. But nevertheless, it's expensive, and it depends if you're going to go to London. Like for instance, I was paying 420 for a train pass, to say so. So a monthly payment for the train. So which is quite expensive. Meaning there's more and more people getting difficult times in the UK, so I think the poverty rate is getting higher and higher. Now it's higher, around 20%, so it's even higher than the average of countries in Europe, okay, that are below the poverty line, okay. So it's like it's not easy, okay. So the cost of living in London, specifically where I used to work, really high. So yeah, that would be my take. Then to close, Spain, meaning in Spain, As a family of four, I would say that you should be expecting to pay roughly around the 2,300, okay, without rent, okay, without rent. As a single person, I would say that you should be expecting to pay around 600 plus 650, 800, meaning monthly costs, and this is not counting rent, okay. And as a family, roughly around 2,300, okay, without rent. With rent on top, it can be a rent of minimum 1,000, okay. If you're gonna go below that, like 800 and things like that, in Barcelona, most likely gonna get cockroaches, okay, not a good one, okay. But then you're gonna expect to go like 1,400, 1,500, 1,700 euros, so a month. So it's expensive, and meaning if you're going to be expecting to live in a comfortable manner in Barcelona, I would say that you need to go 5,000, 6,000 a month. I would say 5,000, meaning to be living in a comfortable manner. Okay, we were more comfortable, let's say, but nevertheless, that will be my take. Okay, Spain is a very, very popular destination for expats. Okay. And why? Specifically for those that are moving from Britain or used to be, now it's a bit more challenging. It's getting more and more traction for lots of people in the north on the Nordics, of course. It's a laid-back culture. Okay, cost of living are more or less okay, but it will depend where is it that you're going to be moving towards. In average, I would say that, as mentioned, meaning you should expect as a household to be spending 2,300 without a month, without rent, and then on top you need to put this on top. So my advice would be like 5,000 for you to be like in a comfortable 6,000 even better, to be in a more comfortable position. Okay, so Barcelona is an amazing city, meaning loads of things to do, culture, food, people, meaning loads of things to do. So it's an amazing city. Okay, it's cheaper than New York, yes, cheaper than some of other cities, but it's not that cheaper. Okay, so be mindful of that. Okay, with that said, I will wrap up then with my top cities or countries slash and the reasons why. So stick around. To close the top 5, okay, and the reasons why. Okay, instead of just looking at how much can you actually earn in terms of the income, meaning I'll talk to you about different things. Of course, I will talk about the cost of living, the quality in terms of the ranking, but nevertheless, I think I'll give you or try to give you some extra reasons why I consider that specific ranking. With that said, let's go for the ranking. So in the 5th place, I will put the UK. Why? Okay, cost of living is a killer, okay, versus what you earn, and the weather sucks, is dreadful, but there are a lot of opportunities to grow, or there were prior to the Brexit, meaning I think that, meaning if you want to think on actually going to the UK, it's easy to work there as well. You earn well, but you spend a lot of money. So you have this feeling that you are in an island, okay, which is not cool for those that like to travel, as myself, okay. So solution would be to work for a British-based company and live outside of the UK. Okay, that will be my take, meaning you're gonna get better housing, better cost of living, sunshine, access to the rest of Europe and the world. So that will be my take. Okay, let's go for the 4th place. Okay, so 4th place, I'll put Portugal. Okay, why? Okay, meaning the income is really low. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying this is not just low because it's low versus the cost of living. Okay, cost of living is high and it's getting higher. Okay, so meaning I would not go from Portugal beyond the 4th place, let's put it like that. But there are some opportunities to grow. Okay, there are some opportunities to grow. So Portugal is getting more and more traction, because of digital nomads, because of external investment that is pushing the salaries up as well, which is cool. You have loads of meaning growth around alternative energy, technology, meaning alternative energy. Portugal is a powerhouse, and you have tourism and people coming and so forth. So it's really interesting one. So solution if you want to go for Portugal. So my advice would be live in Portugal and work for an international company, or work as a digital nomad or expat. Okay, I would say that Portugal is an amazing place to live. It's a great place to live, but not as much to work. Okay, that will be my take. Okay, then I'm gonna go for the third place. Okay, so third place I would put Belgium. Why? Meaning income is good. Okay, you're gonna pay a lot of taxes, but income is good. But actually the cost of living is low because Belgium is a social country. Okay, so you're gonna get a lot of benefits through that. Okay, but mentality can be sometimes a bit problematic. Okay, so there is the far right that is growing a lot. Of course, you're gonna find, I have meaning loads of good friends I still have in Belgium. Okay, but there is some challenges there. Okay, in terms of mentality. So you're gonna find people that are really open-minded, and you're gonna find people that are not open-minded at all. Okay. For me, what will be then the solution if you're considering Belgium? Okay, I'll go there for a while, enjoy the beers, the chocolates, you're gonna do some friends, but I would not advise you to stay there forever. Okay, weather is not great as well. It can get really chilly, okay, and cold, but it's an amazing place, beautiful place, but has that kind of problems around the mentality side of things. Okay, then the second place that I'll put the Netherlands. Okay, why? Open-mindedness, growth, business opportunities, load of HQs and external companies. People really respect your balance between work and life. It's easy. Okay, you don't need to impose, as for instance you need to do in Portugal or for instance in Spain. Okay, people just respect, which is great. Okay, then it's easy to access anywhere. Very good connections from Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam. It's a bit dull. Okay, meaning why? Everything is really planned. If you wanna, it tends to be a bit monotonous, I would say. So if you wanna go for a beer with someone, meaning, or a beer is still okay, but if you wanna go to like a cinema or something like that, you need to plan with 1 month in advance because everyone has their agenda, and there is not such things as like gonna go to the cinema today. Okay, not happening. So you need to plan like 1 month in advance. So, but it's a bit monotonous as well. It depends, meaning on what is it that you are looking for life. Take into consideration that Amsterdam, it's a different kind of place, but that will be my take. Okay, last but not least, first place, Spain. Okay, so Spain, why? And of course I'm looking really through the lens of Barcelona, but nevertheless taking that in consideration. Open-minded, great weather. It's easy for you to get fired. Please be mindful of that. But it's also easy for you to move to another company if you have an international background, or if you speak different languages. That is let's say a bonus, because let's face it, English in Spain is not amazing. Okay, so if you speak English plus Spanish and another language from the Nordics, for instance, or it's good. You're gonna be okay. Okay, so for me, meaning if you have an international profile, I think you are safe. Solutions for those that want to go into Spain. Wages are not amazing, okay, in Spain, except if you are working for a tech company, if you are working for a consultancy, a clothing company. So meaning if you're working for that, then it's really, or construction, okay, something related to construction, I think you're gonna be fine. Okay, so or go for those. Okay, kind of markets, let's say, or then go for a digital nomad or an expat job. Okay, so that will be my take. Okay, with that said, wrapping this up, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe, join me on this journey. And if you're gonna go more on how to live abroad, check some of my videos around Belgium, the Netherlands, Portugal, UK, and so forth. So enjoy. Peace, everyone. Take care. Enjoy your day. Okay, cheers. Bye-bye. Do subscribe. Okay, hit the notification bell. Cheers.